Good evening, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us on this latest all-new edition of the Milford Informer. I am your host and Milford TV's Executive Director, Tim Coet. Well, we've had some big things happen here in the Milford community this week. Of course, the kids were out celebrating Halloween earlier this week, and this past Monday on October 30th, Milford convened for their special town meeting. This was a substantial meeting with 49 articles on the special town meeting warrant. The town meeting was able to get through all 49 of those articles on one night, so that entire town meeting was held on Monday, October 30th. If you were unable to attend the town meeting or you happen to miss our live coverage of the town meeting earlier this week, we do have that coverage available for you. It is currently airing regularly throughout our programming schedule on our public channel, and it is also available for streaming over on our YouTube page. So head over to youtube.com/mymilfordtv to stream that special town meeting coverage anytime. But now let's move forward with our top stories this week. We feature two big upcoming events here in the community, as we will take a look at details at this weekend's Scouting for Food drive as we sit down and discuss this great annual event with several of the Milford Scouts, and we will also delve into the details on the upcoming Veterans Day ceremonies planned here in the Milford community. So without further ado, let's get to all of the details on both of those events. This week on the Milford Informer, we have a really exciting group of Milford Scouts with us to talk all about Scouting for Food. This is a really big event in the community that we've had a chance to talk about with a lot of different Scouts over the years, and we're really happy to have this group with us here. We have Scouts from Scouts BSA, we have Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts all joining us. I'm going to go down the line and have everybody introduce themselves. We'll start in the front row, and we'll start with you down on the end.
Hi, my name is Maggie. I am with Troop 219 BSA.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline and I'm in Pack 71.
And how about you?
Hi, my name's Brian. I'm with Troop 4 BSA.
And we've got three Girl Scouts in the back. We'll start with you on the end.
Hi, my name is Grace and I'm in Troop 64892.
Hi, my name is Elise and I'm also in Troop 64892.
Hi, my name is Ellie and I'm in Troop 64720.
Well, we're really excited to have all of you with us here this week. So there's a lot of cool things that go on with the Scouts all the time. I want to ask each of you, first of all, what is one of your favorite things about being part of the Scouts? We'll start in the back row here first. We'll start with you.
One of my favorite things about being part of Girl Scouts is that I can step out of my comfort zone, but I can also if I really don't want to do something, I don't have to do it, but I can take a chance and I can have fun with it.
That's great. How about you, Elise?
My favorite part about Girl Scouts is probably camping because I like going camping with all my friends.
Now
And then we get to do a lot of stuff that I wouldn't be able to do if I was not in Girl Scouts.
that sounds like a lot of fun. How about you, Grace?
My favorite part about Girl Scouts is spending time with other girls in my troop and having fun with them.
Oh, that's really special. Brian, how about you?
My favorite part is seeing people that I don't normally see at school and going camping with them.
Oh, it's great to make new friends. That's a really cool part of Scouts. Declan, what's your favorite thing about the Scouts?
My favorite thing about Scouts is meeting new people.
That's a great thing. And Maggie, how about you?
I think I would agree with him. I like
Yeah.
how we get to meet new people and get new friends in other scout troops because it's always nice to meet another scout troop who does the same things as you, who goes to the same camporees or jamborees or and it's nice because you always have somebody to hang out with.
Well, that's those are all great answers. Now, I know that there's a lot of really fun activities that the Scouts get to do all the time. What are some of the really cool activities that you guys get to do? Everyone can just kind of shout out their favorite thing.
We do model rockets.
Yeah, I like the really big hikes and campouts that we do.
I like the derby car races.
Girl Scouts do a lot of fire safety and stuff. So stuff like that, camping and stuff almost.
Yeah, when we go camping, we get to go kayaking, which is every year the Girl Scouts do this thing called encampment, when we go camping, and that's really
Well, those are all really fun things to do. Now, we've heard that that one of the ways that if anyone out there wants to get involved with the Scouts, there's lots of different resources that you can find just by going on the computer. You can search on Google for Join Boy Scouts, Join Girl Scouts, and you can learn a lot more information about being part of the Scouts. There's a lot of great opportunities here in Milford if you want to get involved. And one of the really cool things that the Scouts do every year, and we've had a chance to talk to some of the other Scouts in Milford in previous years, is the Scouting for Food Drive. That's what's coming up in just a couple of days. You can see Maggie's already displaying some of the information about Scouting for Food. So Maggie, maybe I'll ask you this question. Can you tell everyone watching this at home, what is Scouting for Food?
Scouting for Food is when you donate food or put it on like your front doorstep or something, and us Scouts come to pick it up and bring it to the local like food station for people who don't have food, and we sort it out, put it in buckets, and we put them into food shelters. So it's a really like good and thing that we do because it helps people everywhere.
It's a really important thing that you guys do. Now, raise your hand if you've done Scouting for Food before. So all of you, even Declan, yeah, all of you have gotten to do it before. That's great. So now everyone can answer, maybe one at a time if you have a thought. But what has it been like doing the Scouting for Food before? What's maybe been one of your favorite things about doing this program before?
My favorite thing is probably like helping the people who don't have like enough money to put food on the table, because it's a way for me to learn about that stuff and learn like how to be more empathetic and stuff for people who have trouble with that.
That's great.
My favorite thing is when we go around to every doorstep and put the hanging tag on it, and it's like fun to walk around and we get to like see that we're helping and be like a part of it.
I honestly enjoy the sorting part because you can pick and choose what you want to like put away, and a lot of times there's a lot of directing happening, like you go do that, you go do that, and it's just all very like flowy, and like it looks very like simple, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's
but there are a
not.
lot of jobs to do
Yeah.
to be able to sort all those out after you've picked up the donations. And does anyone else have something they want to say? Declan, how about you?
It is helping people. Because I love helping people and giving them food so they have food.
No, that's a really great answer. That's a big part of why the Scouts do this every year. So now a couple of you have mentioned the hanging tags. Now that's coming up pretty soon in the next couple of days that you'll be doing those. Maggie, since you have one there for us, so tell us what's going to happen in a couple of days. You're going to go put those out on everyone's door.
Yeah, and it's just something that we put on the doorknobs like that, and like it just sits there, and when you come to open your door, you can see it, and then you can choose if you want to donate food, and it's yeah.
It gives you all the information that you need to know. And that's important for folks who will see this coming up in the next couple of days ahead of when you're going to pick up the donations, so they know some of the things that they can have ready to go. Now, Brian, can you tell me a few of the things that are good ideas for people to include in the donations that they leave out for the Scouts?
Like canned food, simple like toiletries, like toilet paper, things like peanut butter, pastas, those are all great foods, like non-perishables.
That's excellent. And anybody else have any other good ideas for things that folks should leave out for their donations?
Well, I know you shouldn't bring like glass or anything that's in like a container that's like breakable, or food that's bad or like it's gonna go bad soon.
Yeah, that's really important to know. So it all should be non-perishable food items or toiletries. You don't want to put anything out that's going to spoil really fast. So, and on those door hangers, it gives a pretty good list of things that people can leave out, right?
Yeah, it's always on the back underneath the logos, and it says it suggested items underlined. It says it right there.
That's great. So now your hanging tag weekend is coming up this weekend. So starting on October 28th, you might see some of these scouts coming around, hanging those on your door in the community to get ready for the collection day. And that is coming up on Saturday, November 4th. So who can tell me a little bit about what happens on collection day?
On collection day, we usually go around to all the houses. You usually have like a specific route that you're supposed to do, and then you get like all the bags, and then you bring them to the somewhere. I know one of the places you can go is Brookside. It's an elementary school, and then some people sort it out.
Now, Grace, can you tell me a little bit about when people put their donations outside for all of you to pick up, what's maybe some good things for them to know of where they should put the donations so that you know where to find them?
You can put it on the front steps as long as it's visible from the street or near your mailbox, in a cardboard box or a plastic bag.
That's great. Now, Ellie, you've done scouting for food before, right? Now, what is it like in the morning when you guys are picking up the donations? Is it a lot of fun? It must be a lot of work.
It's really fun because you get to see like what people brought and like if people did it and it's also some hard work because usually when you have a bunch of items in the bag, it's gonna get heavy and you have to carry those to your car. But it's really like amazing to find out you're helping people in need.
And Declan, now you've gotten to do scouting for food before, right? Now, tell me a little bit about what you've done in the past when you've been picking up the donations. What sort of jobs do you do? Do you get to go to people's porches and pick up the bags of donations? Yeah. So those can get pretty heavy, right? So you've got to be pretty strong in order to carry those donations. And everyone can put those in bags or boxes out on your porch. It's definitely a good idea for you to put them out in plain view, so as the scouts are going by, they can find those donations. And so you can put out those donations to be collected between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturday, November 4th. So that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. So that's a good date for everyone to remember. Saturday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can leave your donations outside, and you might see some of these scouts going around the community to pick up those donations. And now, one of you mentioned Brookside. So that's a good location to remember too. So maybe if people live in an apartment or somewhere where they can't put their donations outside, that's where they should go, right? All right, so you can bring those donations right to Brookside Elementary School and drop off those donations there if you don't want to leave them outside or you're unable to leave them outside of where you live. And so then who can tell me what happens after the collections happen? Where do donations go?
We bring them to the food bank and it gets placed on like a bunch of like tables outside, and then some scouts like sort the stuff. Other scouts bring it in, and then eventually goes to the shelves inside the food bank where it's stored.
That's great. Maggie, do you have something else to add?
Oh my god. Sorry. It's like when you go in, usually after you're done picking up all the food, usually go in and you help sort everything. But not always, because sometimes you have other stuff to do. But like every single time I'm done with the picking up of the food, I always go back and distribute and like put the food in the boxes because it's just helpful to have everything sorted and neat because it's just easier to distribute it out.
No, that's great. And another good thing for everyone to know is now, I know you guys are going to do a really good job of spotting every single one of those donations that are out there, but every once in a while, maybe there's someone who maybe their donation is blocked by something. It doesn't get picked up that day. So if you happen to put a donation out on November 4th and that doesn't get picked up, you can either visit milfordscoutingforfood.org to report a missing donation, or you can email milfordscoutingforfood@gmail.com, and someone will get in touch with you to make sure that that donation gets to the right place, because you guys want all of those donations to get to the food pantry, right?
Yeah.
That is really important. That's why we're doing all of this. So you can tell that all of the scouts are ready to go to put in a lot of hard work to make sure that they collect all of these donations, and everything is going to go to the Daily Bread Food Pantry, which of course is just such an important organization here in Milford that helps a lot of people who are in need. So everyone's done a great job here today. I know you're all excited for Scouting for Food this year, and excited for a lot of other really fun Scout events this year. So again, if you want to get involved in the Scouts, we encourage you to search out more information online and get involved with all of these great troops that are so active here in the Milford community. Well, we thank all of you guys so much for joining us today. Why don't you give a wave to everybody at home watching? And these guys are ready to go for Scouting for Food. So make sure you get those donations out, again, coming up on Saturday, November 4th. Thank you guys so much. You did a great job. Next up on the Milford Informer, we're so pleased to be joined by one of our very good friends, a member of the Citizens for Milford and the chair of the Veterans Day Committee, Peter Scandone. Peter, welcome back to the Milford Informer. Happy to have you with us.
Well, thank you, Tim. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Peter, we tend to talk to you a lot at this time of year as the Citizens for Milford is just so heavily involved with veterans in general, with honoring with activities around this time of year. So I just really want to open up with just sort of a big picture thought from you, and that's just in general. What does Veterans Day mean to you personally? Why is this time of year so meaningful to you?
Personally, especially as you get older, as I get older, the appreciation for the veterans' sacrifice for our freedom and their service. I mean, I've heard it said that freedom stops here, and just makes you feel proud. And Veterans Day is just a proud day that Citizens for Milford wants to show for the veterans, give them an opportunity to stand proud and show what it means to Milford.
And it feels like this community here in Milford really steps up at these times of years. There's a lot in this community to allow for recognition, honoring of veterans. Is that sort of the sense you get, that it's really particularly meaningful within this community to show that support for veterans?
Oh, certainly. I mean, especially the Veterans Day and Memorial Day, but in Veterans Day we have a direct hand in it, in the celebrations. So you just see the Milford pride standing before you when you're up at the podium. It's really a good feeling, and it's meant to be a good feeling for the veterans.
Yeah, that's outstanding. But we obviously can't thank folks enough for the service and the sacrifices that they've made. And it's just really meaningful to see these kind of celebrations continue to go strong here in the Milford community. And one of those celebrations in particular, Peter, is the Field of Flags, which I know as of our taping here, by the time this interview goes out, the flags will already be out on full display in Draper Park. How many years now is this that the Citizens for Milford have been doing the Field of Flags?
Geez, I think it's probably 7 or 8 years. It started, Rosemary, we were at a Citizens for Milford meeting, and Rosemary Treadle brought up the idea of flags that I believe her and her late husband Steve saw in Pittsfield. And then my wife, Claudia, took over from there and called Pittsfield. Then I met with Steve, we met with the Salvation Army, and started off, I think, with 80 flags at that time. Salvation Army has been a huge participant in this. The money that it generates goes to so many good causes, and some military causes as well, handled by the Salvation Army. So, yeah, that's another great event that we're all proud of.
For folks out there who haven't maybe been a part of this before and would be interested in sponsoring a flag, what's the process that they can go through to get in touch?
Well, on the Citizens for Milford Facebook page, it's all explained there. There's a form that they can fill out to subscribe to be a sponsor. They can call me, 774-573-5335. I think my name and number's on the subscription. And it's $40 now. We only do it 3 holidays. We do it Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and 4th of July.
In particular, with this Veterans Day holiday, Peter, not only will the field of flags be out there leading up to Veterans Day, but you will be the master of ceremonies at the Veterans Day ceremonies on the actual day on Friday, November 10th. What can folks expect at the ceremonies this year?
Well, first of all, it's a great honor for me to do this each year. It'll be typical as the past ceremonies. I'll get up and welcome everybody. The band will be, after the parade, the band positions themselves on the oval in the center of the park. They do a wonderful job. Nadine Pomeroy, she's great. And Italian vets, they'll post the colors. That's post 40 Italian-American veterans. Mitch City has been a big help. I'll give an introduction. This year I'm going to have Rabbi Mendy Kivman do the opening prayer. We usually have a Boy Scout or Girl Scout do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have a cute high school senior soloist, happens to be my granddaughter. She'll be singing the national anthem. She's very good at it. After that, we introduce the dignitaries, the 3 selectmen. This year, State Senator Becca Rausch will be on board. She's asked to say a few words, so she'll have something to say. State Representative Brian Murray also. Of course, Selectmen Tom O'Laughlin, Mike Walsh, and Chairman Paul Mazzucchelli. Not sure if Congressman Jake Auchincloss will be there. He's been sent an invitation. Next step, Joanne DeMaria Morgan. Most people know Joanne. She's been a Grand Marshal. She's been the past director of Worcester County American Legion Auxiliary. She's a current member of CFM, and she's a past Grand Marshal. So excuse me. She'll introduce the speakers. Now, we try to have veterans speak, and we've been very successful in getting veterans to get up and either tell their story of themselves, their loved one, relative, friend. This year we have Marine Tim McDonough, and he will explain his experience as a Marine veteran. I believe he was involved in post 9/11, if I'm not mistaken. Milford Police Department, we expect they'll have a military veteran join us and have something to say. I'm waiting to have that confirmed. And if I can't find anyone else, we've done this once in the past, ask if anyone in the audience would like to speak on behalf of a family member, loved one, or a veteran speak for themselves. And we had some good speakers come forward when we did that in the past. Jerry Evans, the chairman of Citizens, chair lady of Citizens for Milford, she will then get up and explain the process for the Milford High School band. And this is kind of a highlight as well for the ceremony. And what happens then is they'll play a hymn for each branch of the service. And my wife Claudia, Rosemary Treadle, and a couple of other Citizens for Milford group will then walk around and hand out flags. The veterans will be told, when you hear your hymn, stand up and wave your flag and step forward. So that's a proud moment for them especially, and for the people in attendance. After that, Father Peter Joyce will say the closing prayer. A Waters group of veterans, a Waters veteran representing a group from Waters, will then place a wreath by the podium in honor of their group and veterans in general. And that's pretty much it. The colors will be retired by post 40 Italian vets. And then I'll get up, thank everybody, and suggest they walk around, look at the flags. There's pictures there on every flag of a veteran. And coming from Milford, I think most people recognize the names, the person, and that's pretty interesting, especially if you've never done it before. Take the time and walk around. Hopefully it's a day like today.
Yeah, we're certainly hoping for great weather for Veterans Day, and a chance for folks to come out and enjoy all the festivities. You'll have, of course, the Veterans Day Parade, which will touch off at 10 a.m., and then the ceremonies at Draper Park will begin approximately around 11 a.m. There are some contingencies in place for weather to still be able to move forward with the ceremonies, and those will all take place over at the Italian American Veterans Hall. Should the parade have to be canceled due to rain, the ceremonies would start at 10 a.m. If the parade goes on, but it's a little bit too rainy for the ceremonies to be outdoors, they'll just be held inside around 11 a.m. Again, all of that taking place at the Italian American Veterans Hall. But we hope for good weather. It would certainly be a great opportunity for everyone, again, to enjoy the Field of Flags and really be part of a very moving ceremony and to show your support for veterans here in the Milford community. So we really are excited for this event. We hope that there's a great turnout over at Draper Park on Veterans Day. Just another outstanding event held by Citizens for Milford. And Peter, before we let you go, speaking of events over at Draper Park, speaking of the Citizens for Milford, we're already only about a month away from another hugely anticipated CFM event, the holiday tree lighting, another event that's quickly coming up on a decade here in the Milford community. What can you give us as a little bit of a teaser for what to expect for the tree lighting this year?
Well, it's Friday, December 1st, and it starts at 5:30. There's free cookies, hot chocolate, chili. The cookies are donated by the Milford School Food Service. Red Heat Tavern donates the hot chocolate and chili. 5:45 or thereabouts, Santa Claus should be arriving. I happen to know Santa Claus after all these years of having him on board, and it looked like he lost a few pounds last time. I want these children to leave some cookies or something. And I've also been told that they saw him land his sleigh at Big Y, and he was driving a white Corvette to the ceremony. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've been told. The countdown with the lighting starts at 6:30, and before that, the holiday sing-along, led by the Greater Milford Community Chorus, begins at 6 p.m. If it snows or rains or it's just inclement weather, we scale back and we'll have the lighting at 6:30 regardless. So that's pretty much the rundown for that.
Can't think of a better way to usher in the holiday season here in Milford than the CFM holiday tree lighting. We're there each and every year. We'll be there again this year covering the event, and so we're certainly excited for that. Just so much going on in the community, and again, thanks in large part to such hard work and dedication from the Citizens for Milford. So once again, if you're interested in learning more about the Citizens for Milford, if you're looking to potentially become a member, there's a lot of resources online that you can utilize. You can head over to citizensformilford.com to learn more. You can send any questions to citizensformilford@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and follow along with CFM on Facebook as well. Peter Scandone, we thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you for all that you do here in the Milford community.
Thanks, Tom. It's really a pleasure being here.
A quick note before we wrap up the show, if you are joining us on our premiere airtime on this Friday night, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m., good news for you. We are currently streaming live coverage of the Milford High School football playoff game, their first round playoff matchup, their round of 16 matchup with fellow Hockomock League team Stoughton. That game is currently underway over on our educational channel, and of course you can also stream it on all of our online platforms as well. So head over to check out the remainder of that game, and of course you can check it out in its entirety on YouTube after the game has completed. We certainly wish the Scarlet Hawks well as they continue on in their playoff run, and we'll have more updates on the Scarlet Hawks football team for you on our next edition of the Milford Informer, which will come your way 2 weeks from now. We do hope you will join us then. Until next time, from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coette saying have a great week. So long, everybody.